Hey guys, how you going? So today on BKR Sports, we are here doing an AFL season review. I know it's a couple weeks late, but you know, who cares? Better late than never. Just like we did with the NRL, we are going to be grading all 18 teams in the AFL for 2020. We're going to be giving A's, we're going to be giving B's, and I can tell you damn well right now, we are going to be giving F's. So let's sit back and let's talk about how your team did in 2020. Place there was Hawthorn. This is a very disappointing season for Hawthorn. I don't think that they were really thinking they were going to be bottom four come the end of the year. Well, guess what? They're bottom four come the end of the year. I know a lot of people are giving them the excuse of they weren't playing at the MCG, they weren't playing at home, but neither was Geelong or Richmond, Collingwood, you know, all the Melbourne teams. So why do Hawthorn get some special consideration considering everyone else had to play away from their home ground? So why is it just Hawthorn that gets this special consideration for the fact that they didn't play well? I'm not too sure. I don't think Hawthorn had a good season at all. I think that they're definitely not the same team they were a few years ago when they were doing the back-to-back-to-back. I think that people still have that mindset, like this team is a quality team and they can still win despite all odds against them, or, you know, people still believe in this team. And I think that you've got to realise that this is a completely different team and they're not in their window right now. And in reality, they're probably going through a massive rebuild. They're kind of ignoring a rebuild, to be honest with you. I think they're trying to put it off a little bit and I don't know, maybe this year could really refocus them and show them that, yeah, you need to rebuild. But I don't think that they were really aiming for it until this year. So I'm going to give them a D. I think they definitely expected to be pushing for the top 8. I never had them towards the top 8. I actually think I tipped them for 13th or 12th or something like that. I didn't really have them high. I think I had 13th or 14th. No, I had 13th. 13th or 12th. Something like that. So I'm pretty happy with where I tipped them. However, I think this is a very disappointing season for them and they need to work on a lot coming into 2021. Melbourne Football Club. Oh, jeez. 9th place. Just missed out. Probably deserved to make the 8 over the Collingwood Magpies, but didn't make the 8. Had a bad finish to the season. We're pretty decent for the majority of the season, but fell apart. I had them for the top 8 with like 5 rounds to go, but they got my guts up. I think they lost to Swans, and that was an embarrassing loss, and then they lost another. I think, did they beat Giro? I don't know, but their ending to the year wasn't great, and that leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I actually had them lower than this. I guess this is a positive season for me, but I know a lot of other people thought they were going to be around this placing and potentially challenging for the 8. I really don't know. I don't know. I want it. It's like it's between a D and a C. It's between a D, like a D plus and a C minus, really. I think I'm going to give them a C minus. I think I'm going to give the Ds a C minus. I think that they probably would have got higher if they didn't finish off the season so poorly. Well, I guess they would have made the 8 if they didn't finish the season off so poorly. You know, tough one. I'll give them a C minus. I think that it's not a failure of a year. I think that they showed promise at times, but not making the 8 doesn't give them a higher rating, and the end of the season really shows that they aren't the finished product yet, and they're definitely nowhere near really the finished product, and they've got a lot to work on. So passing grade, but very close to a fail. Very close. 17th place, North Melbourne Kangaroos. Disappointing. 17th place, not a great place. You know, 17th place, they actually should really be thanking Richmond, because I guess if Adelaide comes up against anyone, probably from 5th down in that final game of the season, they probably win that game, and they probably avoid the wooden spoon, and North Melbourne get it. So I guess North Melbourne should really be thankful to Richmond for not losing that game. But this is definitely not going to be a pass. This is going to probably be a D minus. I'm going to give a D minus here. North Melbourne, not up to it this year. Poor season. No real promise. Wouldn't be surprised if they did this again, if not worse, next year and get the wooden spoon. So sorry, North fans, but you're in a bit of a tough spot right now. You're in a bit of a bloody tough spot. Port Adelaide, number 1. Woohoo! Gee whiz, Port Adelaide. I'm not too sure I was expecting this. I was actually one of the people that was really getting behind Port this year, and I said I think they were going to come 3rd or 4th, and a lot of people were like, "You're crazy, mate. You're crazy. Bloody 3rd, 4th. You're shitting me. You're shitting me, mate." Port Adelaide, top 4. They aren't consistent enough to do that shit, buddy. You relax, son. Well, guess what? They actually overdid my expectations. They exceeded them. They came 1st place. Now, I know they didn't win the grand final. They didn't even make the grand final. But they lost to the team that actually won it. Port had a very good year. They topped the table, and they looked like they could definitely be here for some time to come. That loss in the prelim will actually give them some experience in regards to this. I kept saying before the finals that Port Adelaide might come a gutser because of their lack of experience. So even though they lost, I think that by losing, they're going to see the experience from that, and they're going to be better for it come next year. So I'm going to give them an A+. I think they had a fantastic season. Winning the minor premiership when no one thought possible is a great feat. And they only lost to Richmond by 6 points. 6 points in the prelim. So although they did lose, they were so damn well close. They had a great year, and I'm feeling confident about them for the future. So I think that you couldn't give a higher mark for them. I think that, yeah, you could argue an A, but nothing less than an A. So I'll give them an A+, but up to you whether you give them an A. Richmond Football Club. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to the Champions Party. Oh, gee whiz, back to back, eh? 3 and 4 years. You can't complain with that. I think we all know what's going to happen here, lads. Do we really need to talk too much here? You can't win the premiership and not get an A+. Like, if you win the premiership and not get an A+, then whoever's doing the video, please turn the camera off and don't ever film again. Don't ever film again, because Richmond deserve an A+ here. They won the grand final. There was some doubt with them throughout the year, but there was doubt with everyone. Like I said, I didn't really rate this year's competition in regards to competitiveness. Not competitiveness. I'm talking about the quality of the competition. So I think that Richmond did really well. I think that you really can't, complain too much about how their season went. I know they had ups and downs, but they came out on top in the end, and they were down at half-time, just like they normally are against Geelong. So, fantastic season from Richmond. Congratulations, you son of a bitch. St Kilda action. But it's St Kilda action in the 8 this year, not something that we normally see. St Kilda were looking really good this year. They were pumping. I think they were actually top 4 for quite a significant portion of the year. But after they lost to Geelong by about 60 points, their confidence fell apart. No one really listened to me. Everyone was like, oh, no, it's just one game. Their confidence fell apart if they got flogged by 60 points. 60 points, getting beaten by that much at any stage does not give you too high hopes for the rest of the year. But in saying that, I still think St Kilda had quite a quality year. This team is not really known for its quality of recent years or overall, but I think St Kilda showed they have a really nice attacking team. They have a really nice team that's fluid down the field. They're not exactly the greatest defensive team, but obviously everyone knows the best form of defense is to attack. If you've got a good attack and you're scoring and you've got the ball down that end of the field, well, they can't damn well score, can they? So the way St Kilda play is really quality in regards to that factor. I know a lot of the fans will appreciate that, and really good. Looking forward to St Kilda next year. Looking forward to the upcoming future for St Kilda. Hopefully they can move on with it. I'm going to give them a B+. I think it was a very positive year for them, and it could even be classed as an A-. But I'll give them a B+, just because I don't think that they deserve an A this year based on the way that they kind of fell apart towards the later end of the year. It wasn't convincing after the halfway mark, and I think that a B+ is definitely really representative of the quality of this team, the promise of this team, and hopefully they can fulfill that promise next year. Hey, Swannies, what are you doing down here too? I know you don't really have that great of a team right now, and I know there's a lot of young guns, but I also know that a lot of Swans fans believe they had a better team this year than what they put on the table. Towards the end of the year, a couple of players really started to shine, and they had a good game against Geelong. I think that it was a good game against the D's, but besides that, I can't really tell you too many games this year that I thought the Swans did well in. I didn't really, fair enough, I didn't really watch a great deal of Swans games, but that's because I didn't prioritise them, because they're just not that great this year. Like I just said, they did have some young guns coming out and showing some signs towards the end of the year, but they still came bottom 4, and it's still a failure of a year, lads. It's still I'm going to give them a D. I'll give them a D. I'll give them a D. This was a bad year for the Swans. Yeah, they had some positivity signs, it depends on how you think of it, but I'll give them a D. And I think they don't deserve an F. They don't deserve a flat out F. I just don't know about them future-wise. I don't know. I don't think they have the attack and prowess, and I don't think they have what it takes in the very near future. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the old Swannies going into the future. I'm not too sure. I'm not too certain how they're going to go, but this year wasn't a great one. This year wasn't a great one for the old Swannies. West Coast Eagles, eh? 5th spot. Disappointment? I'm not sure. Is it a disappointment? I think the West Coast fans and most people thought West Coast should be top 4, and I think that 5th place, even though it is only one spot out of the top 4, was somewhat disappointing. They still did get that home ground advantage, But guess what? They got knocked out first week by Collingwood when no one thought Collingwood really had a chance going over to Optus. I was one of those people. I never thought Collingwood had a chance going over to Optus. But they ended up winning in the end. And instead of West Coast booking their flights to Brisbane, they instead were booking their Uber to go home. Up and down year for the Eagles. They looked really good at home. Really, really good at home most times. But away from home, they got trounced. Really, they didn't look great at all. I don't think that they looked good at all. I don't think if they had to beat Collingwood that they were going to beat Geelong in Brisbane, because Geelong have a good record in Brisbane for one. And two, I just didn't rate West Coast Eagles away from Optus. Like I said, I think they were really, really damn well good when it came to playing at home, but they just couldn't seem to play away, and they started off the season so poorly, came home strong in the end, but that relied on their home form. This might be a little bit of a shock here. But I'm only going to give them a C. I'm going to give them a C. I think it was just a pass. I don't really think that West Coast had that great of a year at all, and their finals campaign was one and done at home. I don't really see them getting a B. I didn't really see too many positive signs out of this team, and they need to fix their away form. They need to fix their team. They've got a good damn well team, and really, they were one of the favourites, if not the favourite at some point this year. Really underwhelming. I think they passed. Not a great year for the old Eagles. Not a great year. Finally, guys, the Western Bulldogs. They finished in the top 8. They came 7th place. No idea how they got there. Truly, no idea how they got there. People argue with me saying, hey, buddy, shut your mouth. Gee whiz, you shut your mouth. They're a good damn well team. They made the 8 and they're coming. They're sneaky. They came 7th in 2016. Here they come. Nah, this team was a bit too inconsistent for mine. This team just didn't know how to hold the lead for one, and also play a full game, play a full 4 quarters. This team was pretty fluid. I think they were moving the ball around pretty well, but there just wasn't enough quality when it came to actually scoring the goals, and I don't think there was enough quality when it came to actually defending. But in the same sense, they exceeded my expectations. I didn't have them to make the top 8. I'm going to give this team, I'm going to give the Doggies, I think I would have given them a B- if they hadn't got beaten by St Kilda in the first week, but because they got one and done by St Kilda, I'm going to give them a C+. I think by making the 8, obviously they definitely get a pass, and I think that they were better than not great. So in regards to that, I wouldn't give them a C or a C- because that's like Collingwood area. They made the 8, but not that great. I think the Bulldogs exceeded my expectations for one, so I'll give them the plus, which gives them that added boost. But I don't think it's enough to get into the B range, because they did get beaten by St Kilda, who weren't exactly too fantastic going into the finals either. So I think that C+ is still a positive season for the Doggies, and hopefully they can just start getting some consistency together so they can start to compete. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you haven't already, smash that thumbs up button. Yeah, go down there, hit that thumbs up. It does mean more than you think. It shows me, obviously, that you are enjoying this content and you want to see more of these kind of videos. I'm going to be back in Australia within the next couple of weeks, so although I have a quarantine period, you know, I won't be able to do vlogs for 2 weeks since coming back. Vlogs are going to be returning on the channel. Very much looking forward to that. BBL season coming up, A-League season coming up. We're going to be streaming the Premier League and NFL. Don't you damn well worry. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys as always. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something, guys. Live your passion. That is the main thing. But I'm going to jump off for now. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.